Working with a challenging protector. So this exercise can be a bit challenging, especially if you're new to IFS. And if that's the case for you, just do your best to get to know the parts that aren't so ready. So once again, I'll invite you to get comfortable and set up like you were going to meditate. And then think of a part that really bothers you or gets in your way in life, or maybe one that you have a lot of shame about, or you might be afraid of. So I'll give you a second to think of one. And we're looking for more of a protective part rather than a vulnerable, what we call exile. If you're having trouble thinking of one, most people have an inner critic, and so you could pick that one. And then again, as usual, focus on the part. Notice where it is in your body or around your body. And then notice how you feel toward it. And it's likely because of the instructions to begin, you have some kind of strained feelings or negative feelings toward it. So if it helps, we could start by putting the target part in a contained room. That might help the other parts of you drop their weapons and feel a little safer to relax. You can make it a comfortable room, but one that it can't get out of, and that you can see it through a window. And you can let all these other parts that might fear it or be angry at it know that for the duration of this exercise anyway, it's going to stay contained. So just ask them to relax so you can get to that point of curiosity we talk about so much. And see if they're willing to let you be curious toward the one in the room. And if they're not willing to do that, to relax and separate, that's okay. You can spend the rest of the time just getting to know them and their fears of this other part that you have in the room. But if you can get to a point of curiosity toward the one in the room, then let it know that and see what it wants you to know while it stays contained. See if you can communicate it with it through the window or somehow. What does it want you to know about itself? What's it afraid would happen if it stepped out of its role? If it answered those questions, then see if it's possible to extend some appreciation to it or at least trying to protect you. Maybe ask it how old it thinks you are. And if it thinks you're a different age than you actually are, then go ahead and update it. See how it reacts. And now let's ask this part in the room some version of the following question. If you could change or heal what it's protecting, so that wasn't really an issue anymore, and it was freed from this responsibility of protection, and could do something entirely different, what might it like to do? If this part were totally liberated from its role, what else would it choose to do? And again, just wait for the answer, don't think. And then ask that final question again. What does it need from you in the future? And wait for the answer. Then before we stop, check with the parts that had an issue with this one and just see how they react as they witness the conversation you had with it. And then again, when the time feels right, go ahead and finish up inside there and again, thank your parts for anything they let happen and let them know this isn't your last visit. And if it helps, take deep breaths and shift your focus back outside.